Welcome, everyone. This month's focus is on transformation. This topic is multidimensional, and we've invited four guests to share their insights and contribution from their various fields. So we invite you to listen each week to these in-depth conversations that will make a big difference in your life. Our guest this week is Hilary Dombroski. I want to say hello and welcome to Hilary.
Thank you so much, Patty. It's such an honor to be a part of this, and I really look forward to this journey together.
That's so great. Hilary is a part of our membership. She is the branch manager of Iberia Bank, and she has been in this profession for over 20 years. As a graduate of the University of Maine, she studied elementary education and has received numerous performance and achievement rewards throughout her banking career. So I'm so excited to have you share with us about banking, because for me, banking is it's a pretty dry subject, but yet it's so important for all of us to know, and how this relates to how this can transform our lives. So, Hilary, what in the world drew you to the banking industry?
I know, it's so funny. I was thinking, when you asked me to be a part of the show, how am I really going to jazz this up and give it some life? Because banking can be a very dry subject. But I really do find it an extremely fulfilling career. And the relationship piece is so essential as to why I do it. So you asked me what drew me there. Honestly, it started as just a part-time seasonal teller position back in 1992, actually, on summers, holidays, vacations. I would fill in with a large bank in the Northeast. And I really started, that career kind of evolved for me, and I got closer to graduating with my elementary ed degree. I kind of took pause and thought, I really love and I thrive off this personal interaction piece. I could build rapport with my clients. It was a relationship where I was really working on earnestly on building trust. And that piece is so important to me in my life. And I was helping people fulfill their needs. Although it was financial in nature, I found that people would come to me for more than that, whether it was an aging relative with long-term health care needs, if it was, they're struggling to get their savings together for their child's future college education, things of that nature. I even loved when my elderly clients would come in and they'd slap their checkbook down on my desk and say, I can't do it. I've been looking for the last 3 weeks. There's 5 cents missing. Come on, you got to help me out. And we'd balance together, and most of the time we would find it. And it meant so much to my clients, which, in turn meant a lot to me. It was, it was really filling me up. So I looked at this position, I still do, as more than just a transactional relationship. I really want to function in my clients' lives and prospects' lives, really, as a trusted advisor. And you can come to me for professional advice, referrals, to help you with financial challenges in your life, saving money, making money. You might have credit problems that you'd like a little advice and help with. You might need a loan to start your dream business, which I love that piece. Small business is really one of my favorite niches. Or you might be looking to buy your dream home, and let me be part of that piece, the lending piece, to afford you that opportunity.
Okay, so wow, there's a lot to cover. We're going to go a little slower so we can get all these great pieces that you have to go. Let's start. Kimberly, I know, has a question, and then I have something. So go ahead, Kimberly.
Well, when I first met Hilary, I had a great conversation because, as you remember, I came from the banking background. I was actually a bank auditor for many years, so I've definitely transformed my position. But what I felt from you was, this really deep sense of empathy. And I just wanted to reflect on the part that I've been looking to a lot lately, that the new CEOs and new leaders that are, really making a difference now, they're coming from compassion, empathy, gratitude. They're really making a difference, especially in these people-centered work cultures and businesses. How do you, I'm sure you've already mentioned a little bit about this, but can you elaborate more on this and how you utilize it to your success?
Sure. I do sort of define myself. This is not something that I share publicly, but as an empathic banker. And I really
nice.
used to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
Empathic bank. I'm just going to insert here just really quickly. I've been working with banks for many, many years in my corporate business, and that whole relationship of empathy that you just talked about, I haven't seen that in the last 10 years. So I want to hear more about that from you, because that's what makes a difference for a relationship, right?
Truly. And, it's not often probably that you equate that with, your financial advisor, but I used to in the past really view this quality as a negative. I personally feel things which I felt was a little too deeply. So in relationships and forging relationships, I really take on pain, pleasure, whatever it may be in the interaction sort of to a different level. But what I've found as I get older and more experienced is that it really has helped me develop my listening skills. So when I have someone in front of me that's walked off the street, that's called me on the phone, that's shown up at a seminar that I'm at, and has a problem, has an issue, I've really found that I can turn on those listening ears, if you will, and really get to the heart of the problem. And with that, there's the personal piece. For instance, like I spoke of in the earlier question, what drew me to banking. I have a lot of families that will come in. Their aged parents, whom I bank as well, have just been placed into a nursing care, a long-term care facility. Mm-hmm. And they're looking at estate planning issues and facing that mortality piece of their parents or their loved one. And I want to be there not only to help with the technical piece, but really to be a shoulder to cry on. And I truly do mean this. I want to be a part of their family, really, essentially, and help them through what's I know to be a very, very difficult time. So that empathy piece, like I said in the past, I really felt that feeling too much, I carry a lot of weight. Now I'm channeling it into an opportunity to really develop a relationship, a meaningful relationship. And, hopefully along the way, definitely support their financial needs. But, it's the people piece, it's the interaction piece that means the most to me.
So what's interesting, I think about money in a more of a spiritual sense of like being currency, like it really fuels. And you've talked about this, how, finding money for small businesses, how you like that. It fuels that creative inspiration that people have. And when there's money on the table, it's like, okay, we can do this. So kind of in some respects, you might say it greases the skids. And I know that when I had my business in California, it was like, it made it possible to do these transformative kinds of programs that did not even exist in the industry that I worked in. Do you see examples of that in your work, would you say?
I do quite frequently. As they say, money is a necessary evil, but can really transform someone's life for the better when used in the right way and channeled, through positive in a positive direction. So I quite frequently out in the field see the small business owner that's really struggling, that's thinking of, I have to shut my doors. I have to go back to corporate life, find a 9 to 5. My dream has just really, it's kind of falling apart in front of my eyes. What's great about my position is I almost have a tool belt with me of resources, and people don't know the different programs out there that exist to really help the small business owner. Excuse me. And that's where I come into play. And maybe an SBA loan is what you need to take you to the next level. But I literally have seen people that have been within a week of closing doors, and I can think of many last year in this area with the red tide issue that sort of plagued our community. That profoundly affected whether it was restaurateurs or the hotel industry. But a little leg up, it could have been as much as $10,000 to $1 million, but it really kind of catapulted them out of that dark place, the black hole.
Yeah, that's amazing, because we know, and you've been living this, and I've seen it. The banking industry has changed a lot from what I experienced it to be, and the fact that you're able to do that now is a real eye opener to me, Hilary. Can you talk a little bit more about those changes in the banking industry, from what it was, what it's gone through, and where it is today, so we can, because it's all about, like you said, it's all about creating trust. And how can we do it when a lot of people don't trust banks these days?
We do. Banks do have a tarnished reputation, and with good reason. There's been, unfortunately, a lot of shady things that have taken place in the financial industry as a whole. So that trust piece is, it's difficult. It truly is a challenge, because people walk through the door thinking you just want my money. You want to make money on my money. You want to charge me money. There's really not that human piece that they do see. I, in particular, really looked, when I moved down here to Florida, I looked long and hard as I thought about getting back into banking. I'd been home with my daughter for several years. I had to go back to a culture where it embraced that relationship piece and wasn't just widgets and, what product can we push today? And, needs-based banking is where I belong. And fortunately, with Iberia, I really was able to find that, which stands true today. But, that trust piece begins with you, the person, and I hope that by sitting down with me, and, it doesn't happen in just one discussion. I'll come to you, you come to me, let's sit and really discuss about what you need from me, what I might need from you. And it's open communication. And I don't know as though you can find that everywhere in the financial industry, because it has become a little monopolized, so big that there's 1-800 numbers and, clicks on the computer versus a person behind that. And so hopefully I bring that human piece element, to
that was one thing that I recognized with Iberia in discussions that you and I had, is that they are really more focused on the community, which I think is a really different stand to take, isn't it? Generally speaking.
It truly is. And probably almost my favorite part or piece of my position, my career. Iberia truly, we don't do an awful lot of advertising, as probably, all of you don't often see it. You don't ever see us on a commercial on TV or even probably too much in the newspaper or online or whatnot. But we do really root ourselves and want to become part of